I collaborated with my mother on that
Yeah.
EP.
10 years in accounting.
Almost, yes.
God
Yeah.
damn, okay.
Do you mean to say it's like an infinite source of energy for you?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Going to have like a
Yeah.
spaceship landing
Yeah.
kind of sound. And then I attribute a lot of my musicality to A.R. Rahman. And
No, a lot of people are inspired by him. How did it become like that?
how did it become? I took a career break.
Is it important for life?
Money important for life? I feel like you've just blown my mind. No, wait. I was living so misaligned from my true self and passion in my career, and the energy that you want to put in your music.
You know, I love the fact that this is now the reverse podcast going on.
No, but you're fascinating.
It's like a vibe candy.
Yeah. My dharma is creating music.
Nah, I don't think so. That's stage fright. Because the moment I reach it, I hear the music gone.
Yeah, exactly. You lose yourself in the moment.
Nisha became MC Nisha. So that was my actual reason that I became a rapper, to promote my music. It's a spiritual thing. It's like hugging trees. There's the energy of a tree comes.
So I'm
you do
sober
that?
and I hug trees, okay? So the first time I hugged a tree.
Create like a feelings chart.
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls. You're watching Epic from the Scratch. I got Nisha with me. Amazing singer,
Hello.
Artist, performer. Check out her Instagram. It's in the description. And yeah, introduce yourself a little bit to the people. What you are, what you do, and everything.
So I'm Nisha Sivan. I'm a vocalist. I trained in Carnatic music, so that's a South Indian style of classical music. And I released an EP in October. So that was a spiritual album. It's the idea behind that EP was 5 songs to invoke different energies.
Yeah.
And I collaborated with my mother on that EP. So
there's a description. I read the description. You wrote all the lyrics are written by your amma.
Yeah, exactly.
And I felt so like, okay, it's so cute.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun working with Mum. I didn't expect it when I agreed to do the project. So it came as a complete surprise because my other collaborator, who is Kange Kanagaratnam, he's a Tamil community musician, and he actually suggested that we do the project with Mum. Yeah. So I don't know. I have no clue how to write Tamil lyrics. I'm big on poetry, so I love writing English poems, but Tamil, no chance. So then I was like, okay, I need all the help I can get. And plus, when it's your, when I felt really, I felt like it would be an incredible idea to have Mum do the lyrics.
But your EP was in 2024, am I right?
Yeah.
Let's go back. How did this music journey and that love for music that started? I want to come with the spiritual part in a bit, but the music first.
Yeah. So the formative years, it all started from a love for A.R. Rahman music. So it really did start from, to be honest, actually, even before that, it was probably that we had a lot of devotional singing in the house. We used to play devotional songs in the mornings. That, it was bhajans. So because we used to host bhajans at our house, which are community singing, where we host them in our home. So all of that put together really set me on my path for music. And with the A.R. Rahman stuff, I always give a lot of credit to A.R. Rahman, because that's when I was I was shown with visuals how a song can come to life, and it's a universal sound. I think that is so. It's really trickled through to my current music taste, and I attribute a lot of my musicality to A.R. Rahman.
No, a lot of people are inspired by him. Even the kind of music which I do is not like the genre what A.R. Rahman does, but the way he does it, is the inspiration. Not just me, a lot of Indian artists, maybe artists from the West also, because he's global, so yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
But I want to go even more further. Like, were you into music since your childhood, or what was it like? Because you said like your family dynamics was like there's bhajan going on, so there's music, and there. What was that time you feel like, okay, I want to try doing this? Because listening is something, and then doing is something.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I just remember singing all the time.
Oh, okay.
So we'd have the radio going on because my sister, we'd put English music. Like Capital FM.
Yeah,
there were loads of radio stations that she'd put on, and then we'd just sing along to
the radio.
Yeah, anything that was on. So earliest. I think I might have started when I was about 3. Like, see, that's when I was conscious, though. So I think that it was since I remember.
When you were 3-year-old.
Yeah. As in, bhajans happened at our house around the time, like when I was 3 years old. So then it's
wow.
My earliest memory of it was when I was probably around 3, but it might have even started before that.
And who was the inspiration? Your mom, father? What was it?
Both. As in, I think so. They're not vocalists or musicians themselves, so they don't play any instruments or sing. But
they're the lover of music. It's like they just enjoy music, and
that's it. Yeah.
There are a lot of my friends and who came. One is Ayan. So his father was also like that, and he was like, my pops used to play music all the time. He used to have speakers and this and that, and I got attracted to that because of that. But his father was, as we were speaking before we started rolling, that there are some people those who just listen music, and there are people like us who listen to it, got inspired by, and start doing it.
As in, it took a while for me to produce my own music because I was a listener for a long time, just because I didn't know that it was possible for me to make music and create kind of thing. So and that's the same with my mum. Like, she didn't, it was her first time writing lyrics for an album, so that just came out of nowhere, right? So it's, I think it can happen to anyone at any time. And it's the ability to spot the opportunity and say, actually, why not? And just get rid of any limiting belief about that opportunity and say, let's go for it and just see where it takes us.
Like a go with the flow kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Try it, sort of.
We just went for it.
Did school play a little bit part in that? Singing?
Yes. So I was in the choir at school.
Ooh, okay.
And my music teacher kept asking me to do GCSE music, and I never took it up.
Okay.
So as in, I love
notations. Those are boring.
As in, I felt like I wanted to do subjects that would lead me on into a stable career. Really, that was the truth. So I did feel like the arts didn't seem like they would be
stability in that.
Just because
we are the crazy ones.
Exactly.
We just came here for doing music, bro.
I feel like the music teacher, he was really, so his name was Mr. Hope, and he was he really wanted to nurture like, he identified that there might be some potential in music for me, and I just never pursued it because of the fact that I thought, no, music isn't right for me. It's that I had the ability, and I was also doing it outside of school, to be fair, actually. So I was doing it as an extracurricular activity at Tamil school, so I already had that outlet. So in school, I just thought I'd
focus more on
more on other subjects. So I at school, choir was brilliant though. Like I would really feel resonance with every song that Mr. Hope had chose. He had a good ear, and stuff like Enya, Adi Amos and things, that's my bag. So he really knew how to curate. And so that's when you have a passionate music teacher, it really shows you, it opens up the enjoyment So yeah, I felt that at school.
No,
That
actually,
was my
that's interesting
experience,
because it says the vibration. Because in our culture, we say, let's you go on a temple and stuff. There's a different vibration.
yeah.
So if you meet a certain kind of person who has a certain kind of jolly energy,
Yeah.
you feel like, okay, that's good. But if you go with a dull person, then you're gonna be okay. I want to get out of here.
Yeah,
So
he definitely had the zeal, and like, yeah, he was really enthusiastic. He was in the right role to sort of open that up for me. But yeah.
So school happened, then you did your college, your accounting and stuff. You got a job. You said 10 years in accounting.
Almost, yes.
God
Yeah.
damn. Okay. And at that time, what are you doing music?
So I was curating playlists. I was just listening to music almost all the time. I had my headphones on.
Yeah.
And I stopped all my singing lessons.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about using my voice. So yeah, music production and things. That I used to actually make music in GarageBand.
Really?
When I was 16.
Yeah, a lot of people does that.
Yeah.
The start is that.
Yeah.
GarageBand.
That was but I made some real tunage and then just forgot about it because it was, I actually I have thought about recreating what I made in GarageBand.
Oh, you're gonna think about that?
Yeah. So it's got that nostalgic quality. But anyway, yeah, that was the only time I sort of ventured into music production. And then during work, like that almost decade, it was just focusing on work and then enjoying myself outside of work as well, but never doing music. Yeah. How about you? Did you so you've always been into music? Yeah.
But it's like my mother was the one who actually got me into kind of like pushed me towards the direction of music, because when you are young and stuff, your mom see there are a lot of people that her friends are going to learn keyboard. So I went and started learning synthesizer.
Okay.
But the craziness started when I was in school and there was Children's Day celebration and stuff. And there's this guy I saw. He had a red color guitar. Crazy guitarist. And I just took his picture and I showed to my mom and I'm like, do you know this guy by any chance? Lucky for me, he lives in our colony only.
Okay.
So my mom linked me with that guy and I went and he was like, I was just sitting and he was just playing. And that was, I don't know, that was zen for me. That was, I don't know, I can't even explain that feeling.
Yeah.
And then he just said like, okay, I've got multiple guitars. He has a lot of acoustic guitars and stuff. He's like, okay, if you just want to learn, if you just want guitar, like play whatever, take it, go.
Wow.
But if you want to do something out of it, that the guitar communicates with you. And actually it was like that. And I was, 14, 15 at that time? And I was communicating in that spiritual way, kind of like if you want to communicate with the instrument, then you should learn in a proper way. Then I actually got into learning, and then I was like, okay, that time still studying in school, but never thought of like, okay, I'm gonna do make a career out of it. But then in school started playing, got bands, and so I was like, okay, I enjoy more this. I should do it.
So then you were the guitarist in the band.
Guitar, a guitarist. There are a lot of things I've tried. And then I saw Martin Garrix. He's an electronic dance music DJ, producer. And I saw him and I'm like, if this 18-year-old kid can do, why can't I? So I started producing FL Studio cracked version. That's what you do. You can't buy it. You just pirate it. Softwares, you use that. So that I got. And then, I don't know. The career thing was like, okay, I knew it that I want to make this as a career, but to make my family, because they were all very conservative, they were like, okay, education first. So I need to prove them. So then I started doing, and I got a record deal. I didn't tell them. And then a record deal was from the label from USA.
Okay.
2 of my songs got released, and I had like this big article on a newspaper, not in my city, in Indore, in a different city.
Yeah.
And I got that photograph and I showed to my family like, okay, this, I can do it. And then my pops was like, okay, yeah, do it. Great. So it's like I showed them that I can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I earned it.
Yeah. As in the music's spoke for itself.
Exactly.
Then they liked the music as well. They enjoyed what you made.
The rap music and EDM is something which is not their cup of tea.
Okay.
But it's just like they listen to lyrics.
Yeah.
Now it's like they listen to lyrics, and there are some songs which I do, which obviously rap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your parents shouldn't be listening to. You know what I mean? So, but by mistakenly they do, and then they snap at me. What were you talking about? Why did you cuss so much? That happens.
As in, how about the response from the audience then? Was it? Yeah. How was it?
How can I say? Because initially, see, the reason I started, so I'm a producer, musician first, and then I started doing writing music and doing that. Because for initial 2 years, I was producing music, and EDM was not that prevalent in my city. It was not working. So I thought like, okay, I listened to this rapper MGK, and I'm like, okay, I'm interested in this life. With his life, and I'm looking at his vlogs and his connection with his daughter, and I got very much connected to that guy.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, I can do it as well. So my intention was like to make my music reach the audience. I'm gonna rap in it, and then I'm gonna make my friends listen, and this and that, and I started doing. So that was my actual reason that I became a rapper, to promote my music.
So I'm going to dig a little deeper. Where did your love for EDM come from then?
I just saw a video of Martin Garrix in Tomorrowland, or I think something.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy.
It's the visual element as well. People. Yeah. It's the whole thing. Like, yeah.
I mean, the craziness for music came from that.
Yeah.
But I was doing music. I was playing guitar. I was hanging out with friends and goofing around and stuff. But the craziness was like, okay, and it's more like egoistic also. If he can do, why can't I? Let me try. So
you were inspired.
Like,
you felt inspired. Yeah, I do like that. Seeing that it can be done. It's really a blessing, kind of thing. Yeah, the fact that someone's already done it and the pioneers, and then you feel like you can maybe take that in a slightly different direction and make it really individuated. So yeah,
and also like I think you just need a little bit push from life. Also, it's like maybe because what we believe in our culture is like we believe there is God everywhere, and there might be Martin Garrix. His energy was something like spiritual to me, which got connected to me.
Yeah,
so it's like that also. And at that time I was not that spiritual. Since I moved in the UK, I got more spiritual.
Yeah, because you've experienced the connection that you have, the energy of the music.
So, no. I moved over here, I was alone, and I was like, there's nobody, there's just one. So I got more like, okay, what do? I start doing meditation, taking care of myself more.
Yes, yeah.
Because our family was into spirituality and stuff, but I was not like that. I was like, okay, cool, there is energy, and I was always been a very big fan of like, okay, good energy, bad energy. I was like that. I was not into God and stuff. Since I moved over here, then I needed someone.
Yeah.
Then I got inclined towards more, spirituality.
Oh wow! Okay. Yeah. Oh, so what are your practices at the moment to connect? Do you feel like you connect to the energy through music, and you're intentional about the music that you put out and the energy that you want to put in your music?
I love the fact that this is now the reverse podcast going on.
No, but you're fascinating.
Yeah, that's good. I like the question though. I'm more like a seeker. I'm more like, it's happening and I'm seeking that, whatever is happening. It's more like that. It's like I'm just...
Yes. Okay. So I'm on this as well. Like, I'm really tapping into something that's already there, but I'm discovering it for myself. So, the latest track that I released, that was last Friday, I think. So it's called Satyam, and it is about, accessing truths and trying to, just seeing how far this rabbit hole goes. Yeah.
It's very deep also, because I heard that song and it's more instrumental, but you are also doing some alap in the background. So it's your voice and there's energy, there's Indian instruments also going on.
Yeah.
It's a bit, it's like a vibe candy.
Yeah.
You listen to that music. Okay, nice. You just dim the lights. And,
yeah, that track also has djembe on it, so
I
it's
know.
that
The
exactly.
starting is djembe only.
Yeah. So a lot of that was the idea. It was meant to be world music because I really want to fuse everything into the music and just see what comes out of it. And that was a mix of different drums. I love rhythm, so that was the idea behind it. But also, I don't know if you know that the person who sang the intro and outro, he did polyphonic overtones on the intro and outro. Yeah. And the way we met was really weird.
Weird? Okay, we need to know now.
It's in I just went to the mall with my dad, and then there happened to be an exhibition going on run by Amaratis was the name of the gallery, and it's run by a lady called Amma who curates really awesome art, clothes, lots of different crafts and things to display in the gallery. And then while we were going around, a man approached me and said, "Oh yes, this is my painting," and he pointed at the most amazing, really nice canvas of a lady holding a baby. And then he was like, "Yeah, this is my art." And I was just staring at it. And then he said, "Yeah, if you have any questions, just see me at the end of the gallery." And I was like, just looking at it, feeling amazed. And as I went around the gallery, I just connected more and more to his paintings, which were all about, lots of different themes. Actually, he does a very diverse. He has a lot of diverse themes that he brings into his art, and so I had to speak to him at the end. When we got talking, he then I mentioned to him that there's a lot of stuff in his art that's a bit difficult to see as well. And then I was saying that in one of my songs that I was planning to release, there was an ominous sound at the beginning. So the original bass line of Satyam was going to have like a spaceship landing kind of sound. And then I was like, the song is going to have this sound, and if anyone can get past that sound and experience the beauty of the rest of the track, then they'll hopefully really get to enjoy the whole experience, having pushed through the beginning of the song. But then he demonstrated the fact that he could actually do that with his voice, and then I was like, no way. Okay, exactly. Which was awesome, because just 2 days before I met him, or 3 days, was when I'd laid down that bass line on the track. So then his voice was just perfect to superimpose on the bass line. It just fit. It was like hand in glove, and like a marriage kind of thing. And I was like, And then so he really kindly agreed to just send loads of voice notes over, and then I just processed the vocals. It didn't need much work, and then that was it. It was complete. It was just
wow.
Frequencies attracted, definitely.
I want to touch on this thing because I am unable to, the visual element, because you said you saw that art and you got connected to that and you were feeling something. With me, I can't do that. I want to understand how that connection, the visual thing, because with me it's always been like sound and sort of like sensation, kind of like listening to the bass of the music. And while performing, if you are on stage, if it's a big stage, there's speakers, so the entire stage also rumbles.
Have you been to Fabric?
Not yet. I want to.
Yes,
I wish I DJ over there one day.
Yeah. Oh yes, so tell me, the vibration, you need to really feel the music, but then with visuals it's not the same feeling. It doesn't.
How did you reach that point of it's art? No, it's like that kind of connection. Is it through the spirituality, or is it through just your experiences from life? Because it's been a long time that you've been doing music.
I think, to be honest, that is different for everyone. So I do I'm a believer that I was designed this way, or somehow I've carried forward, like, you know, the love for beauty in art and like in sound and things like that. So that's something that I have always had.
Yeah.
And I'm refining it all the time as well. So because I'm an explorer sonically and then also visually and things, I love curating sound and Pinterest boards.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing. So yeah, I think that like
it's a difficult one, no?
I think that it's that everyone has their own niche or their own passion. So if it's not aesthetics or visuals for someone, it might be something else kind of thing. But for me, that's definitely part of it. Style, like, you know, again, I'm refining.
Let me make it easy for you. Do you visualize yourself by seeing something? Like as you said, it was a lady holding a child, or anything. Do you do like that?
Yeah, that's actually amazing that you bring that up, because I love experiencing things or getting perspectives and trying to understand different perspectives. So there's a bit of like, I don't know, compassion, empathy and things like that. That's one thing that I love to you know, try and cultivate. So when I'm looking at a painting and I'm seeing their eyes and things, I'm really trying to immerse myself in that image and just see what they're experiencing and what their perspective is on life, because it's just so fascinating to me what their story is. Yeah.
You know, I do the same thing in music, kind of, because there was you know, in COVID, so in India there was this stuff happen. It was like a big scandal and stuff. So it's called Boys Locker Room, and there were a certain group who was posting some, you know, pictures and stuff of girls in that group and stuff. So I wanted to make a social experiment, kind of, or like a socially, uh, which gives more information about what's happening, and you shouldn't be doing that. I was trying to make a content with that context, and I was speaking with my female friends, and I was like, okay, explain me if you were that girl. And it was a very emotional kind of a connection. So that's the only reason I asked you, because visually I'm unable to feel that. But when I'm speaking with someone and when I'm getting that feeling by listening to it, then I'm much more inclined towards it. That's very interesting. You know, recently I saw this thing, and I find it very crazy initially, and then when you think about it, you'll be like, okay, there might be something. There are people in the park hugging trees. So I asked someone, like, what's happening? Are these drunk people doing drunk stuff, or is it a thing? It's like, no, it's a spiritual thing. It's like hugging trees. There's the energy of a tree comes.
So I'm sober and I hug trees. Okay. So the first time I hugged a tree was last year, like properly. But I actually felt
you hugging trees, not like you just hug then be like, okay, gone. These people are there for like at least 10 minutes. I was sitting there. I was like, what's happening?
Don't you find that really cute? As in, you know what? The first time I got to hug a tree was, I think it was when we went for a walk. So there was like an 11-mile walk that was going on in Richmond, and I joined that. So yeah, it happens annually. So I decided to, like, someone, I think it was a dare, but then I actually really, I just went for it, and I was like, I really got into it. But also in a yoga, so my mum's part of a walking group that I occasionally join as well. So the yoga instructor that runs that walking club, her name's Sangeeta, and she also she asks us to connect with the trees and like the environment and things, and just be mindful. And I think it's such a good practice, like the benefit I experience from it. And that's a recurring word, experience, and you know, but some things just need to be felt and not knocked before you've tried them. So have you tried hugging a tree?
No.
Yeah. So there you go.
You know, I have a favorite tree also.
Oh wow. Okay, go on.
Yeah, it's in Oxford. So in our university has a campus in Oxford also. It's Ruskin College. So if this is a building, just next to a building, there's a field. There's a ginormous tree,
Okay.
huge. I mean, it's even bigger than this room.
Okay, well.
It's huge.
Okay,
I
yeah.
love that.
What is it?
I don't know. It's a big tree. I'm not into trees and stuff. But yeah, coming back to the spiritual thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never knew about the tree hugging stuff, but I knew about walking on grass, barefoot,
Grounding. Oh yeah.
and then laying down and feeling it, and those kind of stuff. But
Oh, so do you do that?
no.
I do. I feel like grounding is really.
See, the thing is, the hugging tree, the kind of experience which I had was like, okay, these are crazy people. I don't know, they might be drunk. And then after someone told me, I got to know, okay, this is the thing. Same thing happened with me with the grass laying on. There are a group of people in a circle, they're just laying like that. I was like, what's happening? Are they on drugs or what? Then my friends like, no, this is a yoga practice. It's like a yoga class happening. Then next day I went and I'm like, okay, this is a whole new experience going on over here.
What's really interesting is that the most out there things that people do, like that. How curious is it, and how funny? Like, they look really strange, but at the same time, that's the secret. It's like it's kind of hidden that there's a lot of joy in those sorts of things, and it's actually like you don't, I don't have to take life so seriously sometimes, and I can actually enjoy surrendering to that and looking a bit silly because it's just
because I think why a person like me find that strange is because now we are in a modern world where we got floors, we got a bed. Previously, even if you go in some parts of India where it's like villages, there's no bed, there's nothing. People sleep on the ground. They are more connected with land than us.
Yeah.
So people, those who want to practice that by going on yoga classes and doing these clubs and stuff, when person like me see it for the first time, be like, okay, this is crazy, man.
Well, when there's the option there, so the way I've been sort of living for the past year is that I stay open to everything. So if it's an option for me, and I feel so lucky that I can be on my bed or I can be on the ground if I chose to. So if it's an option, I'm kind of feeling like, let me make the most of this gift of being able to lie on the grass if I wanted to, because I can actually just do whatever I feel inclined to do. So I do make the most of it. Yeah.
Do you like fake grasses? What they have over here? Fake grasses, yeah. Proper grass is all fake.
AstroTurf.
Yeah.
So no.
You don't feel it, exactly. Which brings me to a question. What do you think about AI music? I always ask all my musician friends.
I feel like
I hate it.
You hate it? Well, I have to say, I'm happy, honestly, I'm happy to see that people have access to creativity now. That's another way of putting it. And I do feel like I love, when people are able to create themselves organically. But at the same time, I feel like both can be fine. Like, and if people are able to now make music using means that allow them to, why not?
I find it a bit bad is because I'm a producer and I don't want, because I know the kind of efforts I've put to learn whatever I can learn. I just feel like, okay, this is a bit wrong where anyone who just come and just press or just write, okay, I want a song like this, and then 30 seconds makes the song like that. And when you post it, you make some changes, you upload it, and then it gets viral.
Yeah.
So that feels like, okay, I put 100 hours in one project.
But then I feel like, sorry to interrupt, but I do feel like people might be missing the point of making music. Like, as in, I don't know, I should bring it back to me and just say that I feel like there's so much intrinsic joy from making music. The virality is just not even a consideration for me. It's kind of like, and even this conversation for me, it's like, it really lights me up. So then does that even matter? The fact that, I feel like, they might be competition and AI is like,
No, the reason I say that, it's like, let's take an example of mathematics. I don't think so in a modern world now, maybe I can be wrong, there will be mathematicians who are intellectual or like crazy mathematics, like Aryabhatta or other people like that.
Yeah.
I don't think so anyone's gonna be, because everyone know, okay, I got a calculator, I'm not gonna learn the basic maths, or I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
That is my
But,
thing for AI. Like
so-
people they just use it, and the basic, we are actually missing on the basics.
It's okay if the purpose is being fulfilled, like the reason we're doing the calculations and things, as long as the result is there.
Yeah.
It's like the process can be optional. So if people really enjoy doing the maths, they have that option to do it. But then there's also a faster way now. And even if there's an over-reliance with some people, it means that they can maybe do something else, that they enjoy. So
I think in AI music, it's good because it's accessible, it's easy. But I think there should be regulations on it, like copyright and stuff.
Yes.
Because a person like me is like not just making music, it's like business also. So you are making music, you're putting it out, you are selling music and stuff.
Yeah.
Like yourself, you put out an EP and now you work on promoting the EP and stuff.
As in, have you seen? I've hardly promoted.
No, you should promote. Like in future, if you do more albums and stuff, obviously you're gonna come into the business side of it.
Yeah,
like I've been doing music and putting out music for a long time. So my intention is like, okay, good music, work with good people, make amazing lyrics or whatever, reach good people, and then sell music.
That's one point, which is that the awareness that it exists is important to me. So like, putting it out there, and promotion for awareness is really one of my core things, because I want people to connect with me.
Yes.
Like, so that's why if I'm promoting music and stuff, it's purely to make people know that it exists. But then in terms of selling stuff, I've just not cracked it because it's not a priority.
No, but selling is the same thing, isn't it? Like people are listening to your music, connecting to your music, and that streams get you paid.
If money is energy, I've completely let go of the idea of
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
What do you think about money?
Yeah, it's energy. And I do feel like...
is it important for life?
Money important for life? I feel like you've just blown my mind. No, wait.
I was like, okay, energy?
No. Yeah, I feel like you can buy someone's I don't know. I feel like it's a difficult one for me because
in the modern world, I think money is everything over here. If you want to go to a hospital, money. If you want to basic necessities, get clothing, money. And if we are in a creative industry, people judge you with what you're wearing, what you are rolling into. And it shouldn't be like that. I know everyone is thinking, some people might disagree with me, but it is the fact. Because I have experienced some places where I've been in certain events and people just look at you. You have a certain kind of shoes, it's like the judgments. So I think in that scape, to do what you love and be successful in doing what you love, you need to have money.
I don't think so. So that point, I definitely have an answer, which is that because I believe in frequency and energy, and that connection, as in my field, I feel like I can connect to anyone without the need for even signaling things with my clothes. And I can do it remotely. They wouldn't even need to see me, and I have faith that I'll be able to connect with people.
Okay.
So that, I think that that's possible for everyone, and it is accessible. That's the way that, in my belief, music is designed. It's sort of free for everyone to enjoy. But then if people want to engage in these things and incorporate fashion and branding and things into their music, to be honest, I do feel like by grace sometimes it is possible to do it with very little
money.
Yeah, exactly, resources, because street culture, which I'm big on, is usually that, thrifting and finding just being really resourceful, and you don't need much, but you look amazing and cool. So but
what's your opinion with the industry?
the industry and paying.
Not just paying, it's like because I know if you want to be a part of an industry, you need to be in a certain threshold, certain level, certain amount of viewership you should be having, certain amount of numbers you should be having. So with money, what I'm talking is everything. It's like number games. I understand what you are talking about, and I am 100% with you. But it's like what I have experienced for a long time. It's always like pushed me back because you are not wearing a certain kind of things. That's why you're not getting opportunity. You're not having certain kind of stuff. You're not rolling around with certain kind of people. Those kind of stuff have made a very big impact in me. That's why I think like money has now become a very big part in life.
I am definitely stepping back from that lifestyle, and and I am all for, if someone really loves the culture and they really want to buy that lifestyle, I always think that they want to do it, they do it, and that's absolutely fine. But my personal choice is that I feel like where I'm not in it for that. I'm kind of more in it for the passion and the music. And if anything comes, like, if the lifestyle comes after, what I'm saying is it's not the priority, but if it's also there, it's kind of like, oh, cool, okay, I do have vision boards and I do have a lifestyle that I really like, but that's because of the beauty of it and the essence of it, kind of thing. And like, I like I mentioned, I love aesthetics and things. So I do like that sort of stuff. And if it needs money, I kind of feel like I'll find a way through my passion to then make that work. Yeah. So that's the ideal scenario. Like, how amazing would that be if we can actually make our passion, like make money from our passion? But like, that also ties in with the philosophy that everyone's got a unique individual passion, possibly. And then, all of us, if we find our full potential and live our passion, I know this is, going to sound really optimistic, but
throw it on me.
No, I do feel like maybe that's the case, because I was living so misaligned from my true self and passion in my career, that I feel like maybe everyone just needs to find what their calling is, only because it really did happen to me. It really was a complete shift, and then I felt like everything just knocked into place, and I felt aligned all of a sudden as soon as I found music. So it's like something that's there to be discovered.
How did it become like that?
How did it become? I took a career break. So as in, obviously the break was a result of the fact that I wasn't feeling I wasn't fulfilled at work completely. And I'd worked in 10 lots of industries, and then I just felt like, nope, it's
too much.
It's not working. And
so what was it, the emotional thing which actually dragged you towards like, okay, I want to step back from this corporate bullshit?
Emotional thing? What do you mean?
Like emotional as in you're not happy with your life per se, family dynamics, you're not able to enjoy that?
I feel like I was spending an imbalanced time. At times, it got really busy at work, and it felt like I had an imbalance in my lifestyle because of work hours and things. So then that's when I'm like, what is the real, like, am I enjoying spending all this time doing this? If it was giving me a flow state, I really wouldn't mind doing that and spending all that time at work, but it really wasn't. So, and I know what flow states feel like because of my love for music and creating playlists and things like that, and watching MTV videos and things. So it's kind of like, I knew the contrast and I knew what I was looking for, and it wasn't at work. So then, that's when I felt like I wanted a break.
What would be your thing, like if you have a choice, either chilling in a lazy river or river rafting?
River rafting, or what was the other option?
The lazy river, like calm river.
As in both. both. Seriously, is that an
So
option?
you have that thing in you where you need stability, calmness, but you need craziness as well in your life.
Yeah, I like it all, as in I'm open to experiencing
Experiences.
everything. Yeah, I love everything. How about you? Would you say that, because some people do have a preference? So do you
At the moment, I think I will choose the energy of the river rafting.
Okay.
Because the craziness, I want everything to come at me and just, okay, there are 10 opportunities coming at me. I want that, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like that. Calmness, maybe 5-10 years, 10 years after that, I will look for calmness. Because I don't know, it's like, maybe it's just like you have experienced the 10 years of corporate bullshit. I haven't done that. Maybe I need to experience that to be like, okay, I need to step back. But it's just like I'm more motivated towards like, okay, it's like I am energetic now, and I can feel, because see, I'm almost going to be 28 this month, and you started to feel like the age, you know, it creates something in your body.
Yeah.
So what I am feeling now, the kind of energy and spark I have now, I had double when I was 21 and 22. So I know, so I can feel in my 40s probably I'm gonna step back.
Okay.
But I have a lot of
You never
time.
know. Like, yeah, it might just be a phase. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might come back. But yeah.
No, the reason I'm saying that is the calmness thing.
Yeah.
So I will look towards calmness at that time.
Yeah.
Right now I just need disruption. I need things to happen. Like,
yeah, well, what you said actually made me think, because sometimes it is moment to moment.
Yeah.
And you know how everyone's talking about being ultra present and things. I actually feel like that sometimes. So, you know, I can't say that it's going to be one mode all the time or consistently for a period. I sometimes feel like I'm working with the life force or the energy and just seeing how it is during the day. And, you know, just while we're on the subject, some people, I don't do it very accurately, but some people do follow the moon phases, for example, and things like that, and they work with planetary alignment and things.
Yeah.
And it fascinates me because I feel like it's all like it's listening to intuition and guidance and seeing where that leads you. And sometimes, yeah. I'm an intuitive person for sure. I follow intuition a lot, so yeah, and that helps me feel.
What do you
vitalized.
think is the reason for that intuition? Did you sort of with your experiences you got that sense to be able to, you know, that you can sense it, or is it was like a God gift that you had it from
As
the beginning?
yeah, I think that everyone's got it. I feel like it's whether I'm open to seeing it,
Yeah.
and also like, yeah, just feeling like I can be inspired by pretty much anything in the field. So yeah, I just feel like making connections in my mind about, like, you know, how things can work and being inspired by everything is partly what intuition is to me. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
You know, you are the kind of person, the kind of thoughts that you have, I see in me in 10 years, the wiseness and acceptance. And I'm more like a rebel at the moment. I am, you know, like, okay, money is important, you need to get it, you know. I'm more like, okay, I'm throwing shots at stuff. And that's the reason I said, like, I need maybe in 5-10 years I would be much more acceptable for taking a step back. Right now I'm not in that zone. Maybe after talking to you, working with you, maybe I'll be like, okay, let's think about it.
Sometimes it is a leap though. Like I do feel like some people just think, you know what, I'm going to break out of the system.
Yeah.
And just, like, you know, as in their personal system and their personal social conditioning or patterns or whatever you want to call it, they just decide to break away from it and then see what happens. And that's what I did. And it could have been earlier.
Yeah.
But I just I'd had so many cycles of it that I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. It's actually like way past time that I do this step now. And yeah, I took a leap. But I also had a huge trust in my but I want to say I had a bit more faith in myself at that point as well, because you know you just get to know yourself and your abilities, and you think, actually, you know what, I'm not bad at this. You know, I'm not bad at like a few, and then you get to know what your strengths are, and then you think, yeah, I know that someone will really see the value that I can bring. So yeah, having that.
And you know, there's a lot of people out there who actually don't have that. What you have, that okay, I am some shit kind of. With me also, I feel like okay, I know I can do it kind of. And there are a lot of people who don't have this. What would be your advice for them to, because this is a discovering kind of a thing, like they need to discover it, they have it in them, it's just like they need to discover and be like more wise about what they are doing is meant for them kind of.
Okay,
So what would be your advice for people out there who just be like, I'm not, yeah, this life is not for me and kind of stuff, if they think like that?
So from like, you know, my personal experiences and things, I'll say I started to sort of associate my feelings that I wanted to call in. So like, yeah, I started to try and discover what or how I could create certain feelings and what really brought me joy. So then I would list like you know, I've actually mentioned this on another you know, episode, but basically I listed the emotional guidance scale. I love working with it because from top to bottom I think it's 9 emotions, and you've got peace, joy and love and things like that at the top. So then I wanted to really find out what brought me those top feelings, and it was quite it's a very personal, subjective thing. But if people are able to sort of remember and recall where they felt happiest, then they'll be able to maybe recreate it.
Create like a feelings chart.
Yeah, feelings chart, and then like just see if it's music for you. What else brings you happiness? Like
And
aside
keep
from
doing
music,
that.
yeah. I'm asking.
Me?
Do you have it? Yeah, let's do this.
I don't know.
As in, there might be something from childhood. Sometimes music was one of those things.
Yeah, of course.
Like
Yeah.
and then like it might be craft, arts. I forgot about photography, fashion, or like, you know, I know this is all artsy, but it might be gardening for someone. It might be like, you know, you've got lots of different examples. Driving cars, or like,
You know, it's very interesting because last year, now I don't cook, but I used to cook. I used to enjoy a little bit of that.
Oh, awesome.
A little bit of that.
Yeah, you know that feeling, like, I don't have that with cooking. So it's really good that you've identified something, because that might be your unique, your unique happy place.
But what about music with you? With me is like, I can't explain it kind of. If you come over here 3 in the morning, and if I slept, let's say 1 in the morning, and you be like, okay, let's make something.
Shut up.
So I can't explain why that came and why it is like that. I don't know. I
Still
still don't know. Maybe in future I might get an answer for that, but I really don't know. And maybe that is my definition for love. It's like the feelings which can't be described is something like love for me.
So do you mean to say it's like an infinite source of energy for you?
Kind of.
Yeah. I think that
that's an amazing thing way to say it, like infinite source of energy.
Yeah, because I feel like I almost know. I want to be humble, but to be honest, it really does feel like that sometimes. It's kind of like you get it from nowhere, and then you feel like the energy is just shooting up and ready to be accessed, kind of thing, when you call it in. So yeah, I do feel like there's only certain, like for me, at the moment, there's certain activities that really bring up that energy really quickly, and then other activities not so much. So I feel like they might not be on my life path, kind of thing. And like, I don't know if you know about dharma. Yeah. So like, it's like a purpose or like life path. So I feel like my dharma is creating music and hopefully sharing the ecstasy that I feel when I make music with people. Like,
Wow. Let's talk about performing.
Yeah.
What do you feel about performing? What was the first time was like? And then, because now you've been performing for a long time.
Yeah.
What is the 5-second feeling when you are in front of it and you're starting to
when I go up to perform? So now it's just excitement and people getting to know me, because I'm a complete newbie on the scene. So no one really knows who I am. So I think this is a really golden time for me, because I can be any expression of myself that I want to bring to the stage, and then people can get to know the frequencies that I'm bringing to them. So it's an interesting time.
No, but what do you feel? Do you feel nervous, stuff like that?
I don't at the moment. No? As in, I don't think I ever will anymore, because I feel like it's so connected to who I am and why I came here. So I feel like.
What was the first time like?
The first time, so after the release of the devotional album, and so for the audio launch event, I felt ready. I was ready to bring that music.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I really felt like, just because the whole intention behind the album was to bring people music and because it's all about empowerment, transformation, and lots of different like those sorts of things. I just knew that I was doing it with a purpose in mind, so I wanted to fulfill that, and I was just a vessel. So that was my idea. As in, that was the idea behind it.
You're so calm.
Huh?
Yeah. I wish I become something like that, because for me I've done a crowd with 15,000 people as well. So I've played big crowds. Every time I perform, there's a shake on my legs for 5-7 minutes, and when I be on stage, I hear my background music and I start rapping. All gone. Before, I'm freaking out. And the reason I'm freaking out is not just I'm scared or nervous. It's more like, is my energy is going to be enough to make these people in the same energy? Right.
So what are your raps about? You created these raps. Like, I mean, do you embody? Do you remember why you made it when you're like just before you're performing, kind of thing?
If I'm doing a certain show with certain kind of specification that they just need motivational song, then I might think like, okay, I want to be in that energy where I'm motivating. But I do other kind of musicals, like commercial love songs, energetic, motivational, just like a mix of everything. But it's like an energy thing. I feel nervous. What is the other word for saying what I feel?
Stage fright, anxiety.
Nah, I don't think so. That's stage fright, because the moment I reach it, I hear the music gone.
Yeah, exactly. You lose yourself in the moment.
Nisha became MC Nisha.
So I do think that having because I go to so many gigs. If anyone knows me, like my friends know that I go to loads of gigs. I'm an audience member. So the way I connect to these musicians is just like they speak to my heart, kind of thing. So sometimes when I'm on stage, I feel like I know there'll be someone, even if they're not in this room today, maybe they'll be on YouTube someday, or like, that there's going to be someone who's going to connect to that music the way that I did when I made it. So then you can have faith in that. Like, someone's going to be rocking to your music just the way that you did when you were bopping your head and making it. Like,
You're so calm. This girl is so calm. Like, go with the flow. Exact definition. If someone asks me what is go with the flow, this is the person. Don't care. Just going where the energy is going. You're going with that. That's interesting. What's your plan? What, that laugh?
That contradiction right there. I meant to go with the flow. That's the plan. I think the plan is at the moment.
No, but like any more music which you want to do, or like plan any sort of like a dream venue or dream place you want to do, stuff like that.
Oh yeah. So the gigs that I go to, artists I see and things. Yeah, like in a dream world, I want to. Yeah, in a dream world, I want to recreate the showcase that we've done in London and Jaffna in Sri Lanka. So then, the idea was to just get loads of artists together and just show people how amazing these art forms are. Do that again in America, Australia, and I mean just connecting with whoever would like to be on board.
And do you want to do the same kind of genre of music, or is it like, are you also testing and trying different kind of genre, which she's gonna do now with me?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
If you put me aside, what's your intention? Do you want to test more stuff, or do you want to keep on doing the kind of vibe of music you are making?
It's limitless. Because I don't know if it's fair to say that. Are you the same, that you like every genre? I think I like everything. I like alternative and experimental stuff. I love neo soul, jazz. So I would like to dabble in that. But yeah, for now it's anything that I feel called to, kind of thing. Yeah.
And we're gonna do like 2-3 more questions, and then we're gonna start doing that. You do Tamil music, like you sing in Tamil, and then what about English? Are you gonna come and tap into a little bit of English or other language as well?
Yeah, as in, you know how I said poetry, that skill, it's there. So maybe I'll
you have so much in you to talk about. I mean, I feel like I can talk to her like for more 2 hours, but I don't want to do it. I want to keep it for the next project.
Yeah, let's do that.
I want to talk about poetry also.
Likewise, I do feel like this has been it's been cathartic. This conversation has been really cool. Yeah.
No, but tell me about, is there any album that you are planning, or EP or anything like that?
As in when, so, I do have concepts because I love building concepts, and then, maybe the music follows. But at the same time, it doesn't always happen that way. Some stuff is out of my control. And I want to just enjoy, like, the enjoyment in it. As soon as I feel like, okay, this isn't, I've hit a roadblock, then I'm like, maybe I'll try something else. And like, so at the moment I'm just trying out different, like, the song that was released, it just came about so suddenly, like, that came about less than a week, everything was finished, kind of thing, and I just put it out there. So it would be amazing if people, like, if people feel called to do that sort of thing, why don't they do that? Like, do they have to release an album, or are there rules? I kind of feel like, if people
are sort of like me out there who are in the professional music business. It's like, it's business for them. Even for me, is like, when we gonna create some music right now, I don't know where it's gonna go yet, but my intention from the beginning would be that, okay, let's create a concept, let's create a story which we can tell the audience, let's create something which sells, which goes out, which people listen, which people take it. That's my intention for doing music, because I'm not like, I don't know, I'm way past of just enjoying music. I'm more like, okay, I want to create something which can make a difference.
There's a movie recommendation I have which is relevant. So Pharrell's Piece by Piece.
I've seen that.
But as in, like, it might seem cliche, but at times in his journey he actually fell into a state where he wasn't feeling inspired or creative because he was doing it for the muns, and like, I feel like on the journey that's what I felt in my profession. Like, you know, you could even look at it that way, that I just felt like I was doing it to climb up the career ladder, and I just didn't feel any fulfillment. I never want to lose that again. And I would like, as in some people, like, you know, you never know, just see where it takes you then. Like, you know, if you're doing it for the sales and things, maybe there's a way to balance that with your enjoyment.
No,
like,
the reason I say about sales and stuff is not just like my intention is to make something to sell.
Yes,
it's more like I want to make something which can sell, which can reach people.
Okay.
That's my motive.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
I wanna yo, this girl is so calm, and be like, oh, I feel like I'm a crazy guy over here.
No, as in, everyone has different reasons to do stuff. So you know, there's no judgment about it. I feel like it's kind of like, if you can make it work, just make sure that you're always answerable to your decisions about doing stuff. That
with me is also like, because there are songs which I have till now, and I want to do it with the same intention I created those songs, and I created them like 3 years back, 4 years back. I haven't put them out, but it's like I'm waiting for the time to put them out. But I want to put them out. So intention is there, but it's like, maybe right now it's not the right time.
Beautiful. As in, I really believe in that sort of timing as well, and reading that. That is in a way intuition. So why like the stuff that you've already released, have you waited to release tracks and then dropped it, and it's been the right moment kind of thing?
I think so. Like, and there are some commercial music also. Like, I met someone, they want to do something with me, and then we sat, we vibed a bit, and then we created some music which they felt, and then we wrote on it, and then something like that has also happened. And then there are songs which I've created like 6 months back, 7 months back, and then it happened. Even right now, I have an entire album ready for like 2.5 years back. I haven't put it out.
Oh my gosh.
And now my intention is to chop that album into 3 different EPs. As you can see, I have like my resolution. And I've put like, I want to put out my EPs and stuff. So it's like
so cool. Oh my gosh. Wow. There's like, how many things on?
I know.
Oh, have you ticked off?
Not yet.
Have you? No, there was something that I was going to say about it. Putting out music. No, it's gone. I saw your list and I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, I don't
know if it's going to happen all and stuff, but it's just like I focus on.
As in, can I read out one of the things that?
Go ahead.
So 10 music videos. That is so exciting. That is so exciting.
And I wish we create a music video out of it.
Yeah.
I have an idea in my mind as well.
Okay, shall we? Yeah.
One last question.
Yes.
You said you have some ideas in you and you want to create something. Is it going to be an album or an EP or a single?
Oh yeah, that's what I was.
Have you thought about it, or is it more like you're just right now in a thinking or like a whiteboard kind of a phase? Okay, that you are making things happen.
Yeah. So I remembered what I was going to say earlier, which was that, you know, I'm in a weird position where I've seen so many of my favorite artists create music and not release it, and then talk about these unreleased tracks that we never hear, kind of thing. So I know, like, that there's a possibility that that's going to happen in the creative process, where I'm just making music like all the time, and then stuff just gets, you know, it never comes out. But the plan for me at the moment is to just keep creating nonetheless, because I think that is the secret. The secret sauce is literally that's what you're talking about as well. I'm happy to hear that you've got unreleased music, because it means that you just literally threw yourself into the creation and didn't think about whether anything was going to come of it. That's the state I want to be in. So
No, but the reason I ask you that question is, like, there are some people, like for example myself, is like, if I'm thinking about, okay, I want to do 3 EPs in this year, so I started working on the music. I don't know those list of 10 songs. Out of those 10 songs, 5 songs are going to be in that EP or not, but I'm creating 10-15 songs.
Yeah.
So do you have that kind of thing going on where you are creating nonstop, but with the intention like, okay, maybe I'm gonna put out something?
At the moment, I'm sitting myself down when I feel like I want to create something. I like it does require a bit, as in at the moment I'm talking about like literally just the last few weeks. It's been a bit of discipline as well because I've been like I feel like sometimes I don't feel called to make music, and then I'm like, no, maybe I need to actually create music, and but no, to be honest, I even think that me stumbling on this, talking about it now, is just indicative of the fact that I need to really treat music as play and not feel like I have to
do it.
have a goal kind of thing. Yeah, I do understand if people have those goals and like want to work towards a dream and have a vision, and like if that's part of a wider creative vision, like, and it's interesting for them to do that process. But for me, hitting targets, it's not so much about that. But like,
why I ask you that?
Yeah,
because there are people gonna see and listen to your EP and a single. They're gonna be like, what next? When's gonna come next?
Yeah.
See,
no.
she's rolling her eyes. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna do.
Yeah. As in, so Satyam, the track that got released, that one, I really felt like, what if this is that one hit that people remember? How cool! Like, that's also an option, because I've followed other musicians who've done that, and I remember them for life. Like, and that's not to say, I'm not likening myself to those people, but all I'm saying is that I don't pressure myself to release whole albums because like just for the sake of it. But it is all about releasing something that definitely needs to sound good to me. Like, going forward anyway, it's just going to get better and better if I release music, kind of thing. Yeah.
That's amazing. So technically we got a half answer, like we will get something soon. So we don't know when, what's coming, as she feels.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, it was amazing. I just, this is the thing with me. It's like I don't want to stretch like and put, keep on going. It's just like I feel like this is the right time for us to stop at this moment, and maybe next time she comes up with the album, we can talk about how she did the album. So that's how it is.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah. You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I loved it.
All right.